Fantastic. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm glad we get this one on the books today. So let's talk about business profiles and the change specifically that most people don't know that happened back in October. So could you shed a little light on that one, and we can begin the conversation there.
Yeah, so we're going to talk just I'll talk just briefly about that, and then and kind of again like feeding into the whole, what's happened back in October. Um so your Google Business Profile, for those of you who are not 100% for sure what it is the panel that you land on and map and search. The reason this is so important to a business is back in 2016, I guess, Google decided that they were going to really take an initiative with this panel, and they started that in 2017, and it's just only continued to grow because nowhere online that Google would search did it really give you that opportunity for Google to get the specific information it really needs to understand your business, because you have the flexibility to put whatever you want on your website, social media, all of that type of stuff. So this panel was designed so Google could say, listen, here's what we need from you. We need all your basic business information, a short little, very specific, about us statement. We need to see, your services, your products. We need to understand what Q&A you think is important around your business. And that is the first place in that Google goes to learn about your business. And that's because they've given you this panel in which to provide them the specific information that may not be laid out in that same type of structure to be understood on your website. Now, let's forward things and understand that, obviously 2017, I think one of the biggest things that people need to understand is Google added posting to your Google Business Profile panel. It is one of the most underused tools that is beneficial to your business out there besides building the panel out as a whole.
So
Fast forward to
when you mean
2019.
when you mean posting, you mean actually like posting stories, articles, things, images, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you can post a graphic just like you would if you're doing a Facebook post or LinkedIn post, or up to a 30-second video that is going to give them, some type of a graphic, and then an article up to 1,500 characters. So it allows you that opportunity to come in and say, hey, Google, I'm going to reinforce every single week what I just told you on my panel and what I have showing to you on my website. And they search, in a little different of a way. I mean, they search, you can search if you code your photo, the graphic correctly, the graphic can search, separately as an image. And then the articles search as key search terms within the articles and within the article itself to get people back to your panel. So it's
So
just another SEO way of,
I was going to say,
search engine optimization.
is this SEO when people talk about Google SEO? Is this what we're specifically talking about, or is this
Well,
on website SEO? How's that differ?
so SEO, what people have to understand is SEO is really, it's a lot of it. It's really anytime you put any content anywhere, you're creating additional search engine optimization for your business brand. Okay. But when you're talking Google specifically, Google stopped in 2019 searching the World Wide Web to learn about your business. They go two places to learn about your business: your Google Business Profile panel and your website. So if you're not putting content out there, fresh content over and over and over, and you're going, I'm doing it on LinkedIn, I'm doing it on Facebook, great. But Google's not gaining any value out of that.
Right.
And that's one of the biggest misnomers that people do not understand. Now, over time, Google will eventually, like if you have a Facebook page or you have another type of a panel out there that's gaining reviews, Google will pull those forward and they will give people the opportunity to click on that around on your Google Business Profile panel to see more reviews, because Google understands that it's not just what you tell Google, it's what the outside world tells Google about your business as well.
And so are we talking Google reviews? Are we talking
Yeah,
about
Google reviews.
Yelp, TripAdvisor,
No,
things like that as well?
Google is the number one valued review system in the world.
Okay.
I'll repeat that. Google is the number one valued review system in the world. So,
Okay.
so let's just kind of back up a minute, Mark, and we'll go back to the whole posting on Google thing. So anytime that you post on Facebook or you post on LinkedIn, you can put that same post majority of the time on to your Google Business Profile panel. Now, with it being a winery, there are a few little things you have to be careful about. Like, if it's out there, you can't have anybody showing that they're drinking, like your product. The bottle has to be sitting there, the glass has to be sitting there, things like that. There are a few little things because of alcoholism and stuff like that, and the different, moms groups out there that are, and different parent groups out there, and advocates, just making sure we're not encouraging alcoholism. So there are just
so that's something to be noted there, because depending on what platform you're on and what jurisdiction you're in, you can and cannot position different imaging and things like that. So for example,
I would just say stay away from showing people actually putting the glass or the bottle up to their mouth. I mean, like,
if they're putting the wine bottle up to their mouth, then
don't do it.
That's a different branding messaging.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, cool.
Mark, so I'll get into that. I'll take some time and I'll do some specific calling into Google and find out exactly where that line really is, and we'll talk about that on a future call.
That'd be great. Okay, so just to recap so far. So the Google Business Profile, that is where Google goes to get all the information about you. So if you didn't know about that,
it's the first place.
It's the first place. So making sure that that's up to date and current. That's number one. Number two then is that what I just learned, because I mean, we've been talking now for several months, and I'm just, again, always learning something with you, is that when you post on your blog post, when you post on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're posting, you should also take that and post that to your Google Business Profile panel specifically. So it's also getting that, and you're being part of that search.
So
okay.
Yeah. So a couple things on that. So first of all, blogs are a little bit different because they sit on your website. So Google will scan your website. They will gain that knowledge if you put a blog out there. So blogs don't really fall in the same thing. So it's basically, if it goes anywhere that Google looks at, which is really only two places. Once again, I'm to reiterate that it's only two places: your Google Business Profile panel and your website. And so, it's that's where Google's going to learn and get educated about your business. Now, when I say that, when it comes to SEO, your biggest factor of how you understand your SEO is looking at the data coming in off your Google Business Profile panel and making sure you have all your Google coding on the back of your website, and that you're looking at your Google Analytics every month, because your Google Analytics will tell you what's coming in through social sites, through other sites would be like Bing, Yelp, those type of sites. And then it will tell you what is coming in as organic search and search specifically directly off of your website, like your website URL or your business name or however it got there. They could search your business name, and on it, they can find your panel. They could find your website link, and they can come into that from either way. And Google gives you, a hit as a direct link. So, but if they come into you and they get into your website and they've searched something that's gotten them into your panel or into it, and they came in through not searching your name directly, but searching something that is built out on your panel, like Merlot, and they get in there that way, Google gives you a hit for that. They give you that SEO. They tell you every single month, what are your top keywords and phrases that got them to your panel? Might be 10 words, might be 70 words. I mean, and you have to take the time to constantly look through that. It's going to give your data. If you hooked everything up for Facebook and stuff like that, it's going to give you your social media links that come into your website if you've set it up right in your tag manager for Google. So it will give you all the data if you set up your Google coding on the back of it right. And if you take the time to look at those analytics every single month that's coming off of your website first, your Google Analytics on your Google panel second. So it's kind of like a different way. You got to build out the Google Business Profile panel first and then clean up your website. But when you're looking at SEO, you want to look at your website SEO first and then your Google Business panel second. Regardless, you want those really to match. You want to be getting the same hits. The other thing you have to understand in that is you have to understand what keywords and search terms you're really looking for. And because if you're not paying attention to that and you've got these crazy phrases coming in, it could kill your business. And I'm going to give you an example.
How so?
Well, so we have a computer repair shop that became our client about 5 years ago. When we took over their Google Business Profile panel, they had one of the biggest pizza, like mom and pop pizza places in all of the Cincinnati market right next door to them. People would take pictures of being at this restaurant, all this kind of stuff, and their business name would show in the background, and it would suddenly drop these photos of like this pizza place in their background. Well, then
Right.
people wouldn't be paying attention, and they would just hit a button and they'd be leaving pizza reviews of my guy's computer shop. And so I'm not kidding when I say over 25% of his reviews belong to Sabatini's pizza
That's
shop.
hilarious.
And then on top of that, there were photos of pizza and beer mugs of beer and all kinds of stuff mixed in with his Google Business Profile panel photos of all the stuff that they were selling at their computer repair shop. And we had to unravel this. And when you looked at his key search terms, the pizza place searched higher than he searched in his own key search words for his own computer shop. It was nuts.
So I guess taking ownership and responsibility of this is kind of a big thing. Now, how does that? So if a company says, "Hey, we've got an SEO person," and they're focusing on writing content on their website and doing blogs, like let's say the one client that we're working with, and then we go and look at their business profile, their panel. What's the difference? Like, so how do I know to talk to somebody and say, what's the number one question I should be asking? So I'm watching this, we got an SEO person, we're done this, I'm picking up the phone. What question do I need to ask that
So
person?
there's one thing I would do, Mark, and I would encourage everybody to do is pull your phone out, search your business, and go onto it and see if on it there's a scroller bar right below your header, and it says like, overview, updates, service, products, review, and then I can't remember what the other things are, and at the moment. So I guess I could pull my phone up and go over. But if you look at that and you don't have an updates tab, I can tell you 100% you've never posted on Google. If you have an updates tab, open it up and see when the last time was that you posted on Google, and make sure it's been in the last 7 days. And then continue to make sure it's been in the last 7 days, because Google reviews your website and your Google Business Profile panel every time you update it. And here's basically what happens. You write a post, or let's say you write a post/blog. You put it on your Google Business Profile panel, meaning that 1,500 character limit. Yep. A more expanded version of that goes on your website. So when you post on Google, you can say, see more. And you can click it. You can give them a link to click to read the full blog. So you're giving them a teaser on your Google Business Profile panel to a blog you just wrote on your website. Now you're
to nerd out a little bit. Would you have your UTM tracking links go over as well, or is it already baked in?
It's already going to do that. It's going to track wherever you send it to. Okay. Cool. So you put it up there, and when you go to post on Google, if you're putting the same post across all your social media sites, you need to understand Google doesn't do a really great job of looking backwards. So post on Google first. It always needs to go on your Google Business Profile panel first. Now, if you're tagging it to a blog in your website, obviously the blog has to be sitting there, because you got to grab the URL
right
at the top of your screen where the blog is sitting to put in your Learn More button in Google Business Profile panel. So now I write my post. It's my teaser to get them to my big blog to be even more educated on Merlot. And so now I have my Merlot article. I've done my graphic, and trust me, at some point when you are going to want to take my class, that, so when you are a member of, of Heroes, the Heroes team here, and you jump in and you really just embrace us all and you love us. Trust me, you want to take my class. I think I'm going to have 3 classes out there if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's what we've got.
Yeah. So, you're going to want to take it, because what you're going to learn is going to be unbelievable. And we're going to come to that in just a little bit. I'll kind of give you a teaser on what those are going to look like when they get put up here in about the next 4 weeks. So, with that being said, we're going to teach you how to build your graphics out properly, correctly, and code them right. Because not only do you want to search Merlot with your business and find the article or the blog, you want it, if they click the word image, you want to make sure the image to this graph, the graphic around this post comes up as well. So we're going to teach you all of that because that's our job. We're trainers.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the biggest thing that you need to understand is that through that, all of that is creating SEO. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you when you come and you talk about having an SEO person. If you have somebody that their main job is writing for you, they're really not an SEO person. They're a content writer. Let's just play. Right. Let's just face it. Let's just say what it is, And so, that's just where we're at with it. And then, you move forward and then now you've kind of connected all. So 7 days goes by and you don't put anything else up new. Google's going to come back and they're going to look at your panel one more time and they're going to say, okay, nothing's changed. Great. Oh, well, they haven't really told us anything else or reconfirmed anything else with us, that they're still doing what they say they were doing. So let's come back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks come by, you haven't done another thing, haven't touched your website, haven't touched your Google Business Profile panel. Google's going to say, oh, okay, well, then we'll come back in 4 weeks. They come back in a month. You've still not touched anything. And Google's opinion is, well, clearly they don't care about your business. So why should we? And they'll do a semi-annual or annual checkup on it. Unless you update it, then they'll do a new scan and your timing thing starts all over again. Don't be the person that gets stuck in an annual review on your website from Google. That is the death trap. So,
that impacts search results too, right?
It does. And Google's scoring of your brand.
So one of the things, this is really critical. And so I think, for those of you who've been participating in the email side of things and have at least listened to some of the presentations we've done on email, this is another area as well with Facebook is there are some fundamental architecture structure things you need to have in place in your business. And they all center around the rules that these services play. And again, we get access to all of this great information for free, but it ain't for free. As businesses, the price we have to pay is we have to follow the rules. And Sharon, what you're saying is the rules are if you're posting content, well, no, you have to post content 7 days. If not, you drop into a 2 week and then a 4 week review and then a semi-annual review. And so if you're primary, pardon me?
Or till you do another update.
So the whole thing is about really kind of really driving forward and making sure that these fundamental elements are in place. So Google Business Profiles.
And we give you so many little cheat sheet ways to make sure you're updating stuff.
Absolutely. Okay, so Sharon, we're gonna say goodbye in a few minutes to the public side, and then we'll move into the members section. But so the one thing that when we met you, the first thing that you said was in October 22, something happened. Yes. What happened? And then we'll leave everyone with this, and we'll leave them with the question to ask their SEO, which is, are you posting a Google Business Profile? If not, drop us a line, let us know, and we'll help you and tell you what you need to do there. But what happened in October 22?
So Google made a change in their algorithm.
Surprise.
Across the board. And so basically what happens now is they look at how well you understand your specific client you're going after, and they are looking to know that you understand them and that you're writing to them. So
and how do they do that?
You don't know if your client can actually get to you, you better sit down at your computer, start thinking about the questions your client's going to ask, start searching them on Google, and start clicking on the what's popping up below it, and make sure that the items that they're talking about there are the same things that you're talking about, because that's Google's AI around that subject matter. So if you're not talking in that same way, those people will never get to you.
And so again, just to reiterate, right? This is now, what is this? The 6th? Yeah, this is the 6th of our lives, monthly lives that we do. And every single time, at every single topic, we talk about something which is called customer journey, right? And it is the experience of the moment that your client says, "Oh, I want wine," or "Hey, I've been introduced to this winery," or "You should go here," to the time that they go all the way through, purchase, but you're not done, go home, follow up, refer, and start that whole cycle again. So the customer life cycle is what we're talking about here in the customer journey.
Yeah.
And so you hear it from Sharon.
Yeah. And so when they become a member of the Heroes organization, and I have a class, it's a 2-hour class that teaches you everything you need to know to to brand your business for Google for client searchability.
Absolutely. And see, these are the things and the tools, and so before we say goodbye for today, but members, please stay on, because we'll be picking up on the flip side here. But I just, for everyone else, I just want you to understand, like, what we're trying to do with the Heroes program, and specifically DTC Wine Marketing Heroes, is making sure that you understand, as a DTC wine marketing professional, all of the things that the agencies and the service providers aren't telling you, that the quick $99 programs on Facebook or Instagram that you're signing up for and watching and all that stuff. They're not telling you this stuff because they're not at the forefront of the changes that are coming. Everybody that we're bringing to you every single month, and specifically the selected heroes, are at the forefront, are leading the way. And either, if they're not the experts in the field, they are doing the back end work for the experts in the field, making them look so good. And so really that's our role. One of our main roles here is to help you have all of the information. So in this case, you can leave this conversation today and you can go ahead and hold your, excuse me, in this case, your SEO company. Just ask them, simple question: are you posting to our Google Business Profile page or panel? And if they look at you or they have no answer, or the phone goes quiet, you know the answer. Okay.
Honestly,
that's okay. Just know what's going on.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark. It really needs to be, have you build every single section out completely? And that would mean with photos, with written content. Are they tracking the SEO around that panel every single month?
Yeah.
Because you all have physical locations, that Google Business Profile panel is your most important piece to your marketing, because it is your driver for about a 30 to 40 mile radius of your business. The first and number one driver.
Yeah. So, okay. So with that being said, we're going to, for everyone that's on the public channels, we're going to say goodbye. But for the members side of things, stick around as we sign off everyone else, and we got some other great stuff for you here. So that is YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. That is, where are we here? That's the private. Where's the private group? That one there is, we can say goodbye to you guys. Yep. Okay. So we'll say goodbye to you. Okay.
I think my channels are on there too.
And that one. And okay, here we go. So DTC Heroes. So this one specifically is the private group.